Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It is not, because you're always pushing the envelope, right? And the purpose of an entrepreneur is to solve problems. So every day something happens and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. And you got to deal with it. And I also say entrepreneurship is the fast track to personal development. Because every day, right, you're facing something right here. It's like, oh man, and you can't back down from it. You gotta deal with it. They say like 50% of businesses fail. And I think what happens for a lot of first-time business owners, they're coming out of a job. So they're coming out of an employee mindset. And I know this one guy, for example, in Phoenix, Arizona, and he decided he was going to start his own business. And he had been an employee all his life. So what's the first thing he does? He goes and rents a nice office space. Then he buys all the nice furniture. Then he gets a secretary. He hasn't made not $1. And he spends all this because he thinks that's what an entrepreneur looks like. Versus go make the money first, then go rent your office. If you even need an office, start out of your home. We all started, all the entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs I know, all started out of their home. But a lot of people I see, they quit their job, they start their part-time business, and because they're struggling for money, they make bad decisions because they're just trying to find how to put money in their pocket to keep their business alive. So I think if you are an employee, that's a smart way to go. What you just said, to start a part-time business, start learning what it takes, the reality. You got to get the reality of what it takes. Every employee can be an investor. Every self-employed person can be an investor. If you're going to be an investor, just watch that mindset, because if you bring an employee mindset to the world of investing, it may work against you, because an employee wants safe, secure income. They want that security. They will invest as a secure investment. So just be aware of that. You might need to make some shifts in your thinking. The 3 characteristics of a good entrepreneur to me, sense of purpose, optimistic, and resilient. Yeah. If you're not resilient and you can't persevere, do not become an entrepreneur. And it's not about do what you love and the money will follow. It's not that. It's do what you love. Where's the problem you're solving? Where can you be a contribution? Then you work your butt off and then the money will come.
Amen. I can agree with that.
Because if you look at money's kind of a psychotic subject. Everybody's got all these crazy ideas and beliefs, and money's the root of all evil, and only rich people are corrupt, and all these crazy ideas. It's just money. It's just a means of exchange, and people do crazy things for it. So, a lot of my favorite line that Rich Dad said, Rich Dad said, money may not be the most important thing in the world, but it affects everything that is. It affects your lifestyle. It affects your health care. It affects your level of education. It affects everything on a day-to-day basis. It affects the food you eat. So it may not be the most important thing, but it does affect everything that is important. I'm not saying all financial planners are bad. I know there's really good ones out there. I guess the question is, are they there to really help you grow your money, or are they there to take fees for themselves? So a lot of financial planners, they're salespeople. My question with financial planners is, if they're going to recommend something to me, and this goes with stockbrokers and this goes with real estate brokers, if they're going to recommend an investment for me, are they also investing in that as well? So if they're putting their butt on the line, then I have a little more interest in listening to what they have to say. Get smart with your money. There's nobody's going to look after your money better than you. And if you don't take the time to get educated, and next thing you know, your money that you've turned over to somebody is gone, there's nobody to blame but yourself.
That's terrifying.
You've got to get educated about money. You got to. And it's not rocket science. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
In the world of taxes, unfortunately, the people that pay the highest taxes are employees and self-employed people, because they don't have many deductions. They don't have many deductions that they can take to offset their income against the taxes. So the people that benefit are business owners and investors who pay a lot less in taxes. And the reason they pay a lot less in taxes is because the taxes are just an incentive system. So the government will give you tax incentives if you're doing things that the government cannot do. So when we buy apartment houses, we're providing housing. Government can't provide housing, not a lot of it. When we invest in oil and gas, the government is not going to look for new energy supplies. So we are investing in things that the government wants us to invest in. And by doing that, we get tax advantages. People don't understand that. They think if you make a lot of money, you should pay the bulk of taxes.